What if I tell you that the greatest obstacles in your life are not external, but within your own mind? And what if there was a precise method to overcome these obstacles and access a state of deep inner clarity and peace? Welcome back to our channel. Let's dive deep into the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. In our last video, we explored the structure of the text and why learning Sanskrit can help us understand it better. Today we begin the real journey, sutra by sutra. The sutras are the chain of knowledge where each sutra naturally flows from the previous one. In today's video, we'll explore the first 5 sutras of Samadhi path. These sutras lay the foundation for everything that follows, and in this video, we will break them down in a way that is simple, logical, and accessible to people of all backgrounds. So, whether you are approaching this from a spiritual, philosophical, or purely practical perspective, this knowledge is for you. If you're excited to go deep into these timeless teachings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the future videos in this series. Now let's begin with the first sutra, At Yoga Anushasanam. The very first word of the Yoga Sutras is At, which means now. But it's not just a simple now, it carries a deeper significance. In Sanskrit literature, At is often used to mark an auspicious beginning, indicating that what follows is important and worthy of deep attention. This suggests that the study of yoga is not casual. It is for those who are truly ready to embark on the journey of inner transformation. Another way to look at this is that now represents a moment of readiness. Yoga is not something imposed on someone. It begins when the seeker is prepared mentally, emotionally, and spiritually to receive its teachings. Next, yoga. This word is widely used today, but what does it really mean? Derived from the root yuj, which means to unite or to yoke, yoga is about the union of the self with the higher reality, the integration of the mind, body, and spirit. But even within this, different traditions interpret union differently. Some see it as the union of the individual soul, Jivatma, with the universal soul, Paramatma. Others interpret it as the integration of the mind, leading to inner peace and clarity. From a more psychological perspective, yoga can be seen as harmonizing our thoughts, emotions, and actions so we live in balance. Finally, Anushasanam. This means a structured discipline or an orderly teaching. The word is made up of Anu means following and Shasanam means instruction or discipline. This tells us that yoga is not random or vague. It is a systematic, time-tested approach passed down from master to student. Let's see the key takeaways from the first sutra. Yoga is a systematic path meant for those who are ready to embark on it. It is about discipline, inner transformation, and integration. This sutra invites us to ask ourselves, am I ready for this path? This first sutra is like a doorway. It invites us in. But what exactly is yoga? That question is answered in the next sutra, which provides the most essential definition of yoga. Yogash Chitta Vritti Nirodha. This is the most fundamental definition of yoga. This sutra defines yoga in the simplest yet deepest way. Let's break it down. Yoga means union, integration, balance. Chit means mind stuff, consciousness. Vritti means fluctuations, movements, modifications. And Nirodha means cessation, control, stilling. So, yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind. What does this mean practically? Our minds are constantly moving. Thoughts, emotions, memories, distractions. Yoga is the process of calming this turbulence so that we can perceive reality clearly. When the mind is still, we experience true awareness, peace, and self-realization. This sutra is not about suppressing thoughts, but about understanding and mastering them so they no longer control us. Also, this sutra is a direct and powerful statement. Yoga is not just about postures or breathing, it is a science of the mind. If yoga is about stopping the fluctuations of the mind, then what happens when the mind is still? This is answered in the next sutra, the third one, which describes the state of pure awareness that arises when mental distractions are removed. The third sutra is Tada Drashtuh Swarupe Avasthanam. This sutra answers the question, what happens when the mind is still? So this sutra reveals the ultimate purpose of yoga. Tada means then, Drashtuh means the seer, the true self. Swarupe means in its own form, true nature. Avasthanam means abides, rests. So then the seer rests in its true nature. When the mind is free from distractions, we experience our true self, beyond the ego, beyond the constant chatter of the mind. This aligns with various spiritual and philosophical traditions. In Vedanta, this is pure consciousness, the Atma. In Buddhism, it is the state of pure awareness. In modern psychology, it relates to a deep sense of presence and self-awareness. This sutra describes the state of enlightenment, but what happens when we are not in this state? When the mind is restless and filled with thoughts? That is explained in the fourth sutra, Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra. This sutra describes our usual state of mind, which is the opposite of yoga. Vritti, as already said, means mental fluctuations. Sarupyam means identification with, assuming the form of. Itaratra means otherwise, at other times. So, at other times, the seer identifies with the fluctuations of the mind. This sutra explains the root of suffering. When we mistake our thoughts, emotions, and mental states as our identity. For example, if anger arises, we say, I am angry. But is that our true self? No. Anger is just a temporary moment in the mind. The same applies to anxiety, sadness, or even happiness. These emotions come and go, but our true self remains unchanged. If these mental fluctuations are the problem, then how do we categorize them? What kinds of thoughts arise in the mind? That is answered in the next sutra, which breaks thoughts into 5 types. Vrittayaha, Panchatayaha, Klishta, Aklishta. This sutra introduces the 5 types of mental modifications. Vrittayaha means mental fluctuations. Panchatayaha means 5-fold, 5 types. Klishta means painful, leading to suffering. Aklishta means not painful, non-afflictive. The mental modifications are 5-fold and they can be either afflictive or non-afflictive. Here Patanjali is preparing us for the next sutras, where he categorizes these 5 types of thoughts, showing us which thoughts cause suffering and which one leads to liberation. In our next video, we'll explore these 5 types of mental modifications and how to work with them to free ourselves from suffering. So, to sum up this video and to just highlight the major points that we can take away with us, remember that the first 5 sutras lay out the entire path of yoga. Yoga is the cessation of mental turbulence. When the mind is still, we realize our true nature. Otherwise, we remain entangled in mental fluctuations. That's all for this video. Do let me know in the comments if you have ever experienced moments of stillness. If you find the video interesting and inspiring, please like and share as much as possible. Do subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode in this series of the Yoga Sutras. Till then, stay safe, stay sattvic.